The Bamboo Project podcast starts in 3, 2.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome to the Bamboo Project podcast. My name is Donovan Gray, the future $10 billion man. On the way to 10 billion, I decided I'm going to help create 1,000 millionaires, including myself, and not by being a guru or selling a course, but by doing the things I already love to do every day and documenting my journey to get there. I figure I'll make all the mistakes so you don't have to. My name is Donovan Gray, and this is how I will turn my life into a living. I'd like to start off by giving a shout out to all the people rocking with us and supporting the channel. We really appreciate you. We are currently streaming on all major streaming platforms such as Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Google Podcasts, Anchor. You name it, we on it. And if we not on it, we about to be on it. For everyone listening to this podcast and not watching it, you can find us on YouTube at The Bamboo Project. We have over 500 videos on our channel. Do you want to see our real estate journey? We got that. Do you want cooking tutorials inspired by Dr. Sabi? We got that. Do you want travel and lifestyle vlogs? Got it. Hair and makeup tutorials? Got it. Basketball? Got it. Turo? Got it. Candles? Got it. It's everything us. All the parts of the journey that do not make it to YouTube will be on our story. You can find me on Instagram at Donovan Gray, DONIVANGRAY, and my phenomenal, beautiful, amazing girlfriend, Anita Byrne, ANETABURN. We made different playlists for all the things we are into, and you can find all of those links in the description box below. This may be your first time here, and if it is, welcome to the family. But for everyone else, this is chapter 4, page 5. Today's date is Wednesday, April 26th, and it is 8:49 a.m. All right. So before we get into the podcast, we always start off with screen time. That is when we see how much time we've been spending on our phones over the last week so that we can find out where we can either cut back, why we're spending so much time on it, how much our pickups are, so on and so forth. All right. So for last week, every day I spent an average of 10 hours and 27 minutes on my phone every day. It's a lot of time. It's a whole lot of time. All right. Oh, I knew it. Coming in at numero uno, we have Twitter for 13 hours and 46 minutes last week. Then we have Instagram for 13 hours and 31 minutes. And then we have YouTube for 6 hours and 44 minutes. My highest usage day was Friday for 13 hours and 26 minutes. What were we doing last Friday? All right, so that was my highest usage day. That day I was on Instagram for 3 hours and 30 minutes, YouTube for 3 hours and 7 minutes, and Twitter for 2 hours and 50 minutes. My average amount of pickups last week was 140, and my first used app after pickup was Instagram.
On my screen time last week, I was on my phone on average 6 hours and 53 minutes. TikTok was my most used app for almost 11 hours. Then Instagram for 9. Then Kiva for 8. Then
you on Kiva for 8 hours?
That's what it says.
Wow.
Then it says Gmail for 5. Music for 4. YouTube for 2. Square for 2. I pick up my phone on average 162 times a day. Gmail is my first used app after pickup, then music, then Square, then Instagram.
Okay. And then subscriber check. So currently on our main channel, we are at 6,469 subscribers, almost reaching that 6,500 number. And then on the Candle channel, bless you, we are at 338 subscribers. So everybody go follow the Candle page, subscribe, watch all the videos, do all that YouTube stuff. Now, we are into the life update of last week. So first things first, the Kiva loan, okay? Y'all know that maybe in the last week's podcast, the week before, I talked about paying off the Kiva loan so that we can then re-up on a higher loan. And I had an investor who was upset with that idea. And last week, the loan went public. So now you can loan. It's not a donation. It gets paid back with the link in the description. So we are currently right now at almost half the amount. We're raising $6,000, or Kiva allowed us to raise $6,000. We are at $2,700 right now, and we still have about another 30 days to go. We're thinking we'd probably be fully funded by the end of next week. That would be dope if we could get that done. Shout out to Kiva. Like I said, Kiva is an amazing platform. They are doing great things over there. So we're gonna keep on that, because like I said, that once that come in, oh my god. Like I said, we have that one. Melissa has a meeting later today with Greater Jamaica? With Greater Jamaica, because they're trying to give us a marketing loan, which is pretty much for online marketing. So we are going to see what they need from us to approve that, because if we can get the 6,000 plus the 7,500, that'll put us at 13,500 that we can utilize to pay down debt, to expand the business, to improve equipment and things like that, or even maybe even hire people too. So shout out to Kiva for that. Next on the topics for the day is, I don't even want to forget this. Shout out to Tyree. Tyree's a real one, because Tyree really been been buying candles. He been supporting. He loaned money on Kiva. I didn't want to forget to shout you out, my guy. Like, you a real one, bro. Like, honestly, we gonna figure out something to work out with you, something special. We don't really know yet how or what we're gonna do, but trust me. People that support us, we support you. We gonna figure out something for you though. I don't know, maybe get you like a special discount code, so like when somebody else buy, you get something. We'll figure it out. We're gonna figure it out. But then on to the next topic. Oh, we could even put you, maybe you could be like a, what they call that, like when you get special products. Something like, he might be one of the people that gets like early release stuff, test out different things. Because, I think he had a favorite scent. I forgot which one he said he liked the most. And his mom stole one from him. I think his mom stole Do Not Disturb from him.
I think it was
room service. I'm not going to lie. Room service is growing on me. Only because of yesterday. I don't know what it was about yesterday when I came in the house. I'm like, I can really smell room service. And it smelled like honey, thick, sweet, smoky vibe, vanilla. I was like, this is nice. Like, I like this scent. Now, I can't tell. It's hard. Now I know how all the people at the fairs be feeling. I'm like, damn, which one do I like more? Like, we still haven't burned Do Not Disturb big in the house. So I can't really speak on that one yet. But the other three, People Watch is my favorite as a cold, with the cold scent when it's not lit, right?
Oh, you know your cold throws? Of
course I know what cold throw. I'm a candle enthusiast. Well, I'm gonna use that word instead of like candle. What do we call you? Candle guys? They don't like that. For whatever reason, guys don't like that. You a candle guy? They're like, nah, that's gay. I don't like that. So you a candle enthusiast? They might like that. They might enjoy that one more. But I am a candle enthusiast, and the cold throw for the People Watching is my favorite scent. But burning it, I like it in the bathroom. I don't know how strong it is outside the bathroom, but the thing is, I know if I walk by, I'm like, ooh, what's that? I like the smell of that one, right? But my like go-to candle, if I had to choose one to just light, just to smell around the house regularly, is Wind Down. Melissa don't like that one.
I don't.
But that's for me. I'm like, I don't know why it is. I'm just like, something about that scent. I just light it and I'm like, ooh. I'm like, yeah, this one is it. But yesterday, room service is tying. That's the thing. People Watch is a great bathroom candle. That's my thing. Like, as a bathroom is number one to me. Like, maybe between that one and a D. Between that one and a D is probably the top candle for the bathroom for me. But I just, like I said, I'm a candle enthusiast now. I understand why the people at the craft fair be like, I have a candle for different rooms. I'm like, I wouldn't put room service in the bathroom. No. But I would not put People Watching next to my bed. Did it before. I'm like, I'm not really feeling this. It don't have the common serenity feeling I'm going for.
I like Do Not Disturb.
But we haven't even burned a big one. That might be my favorite one. I never burned a big one. We need somebody to fuck up the big one so we could burn it. We need somebody to fuck up the label so we can burn the big Do Not Disturb. Because that one, ooh, nah. Can we do that?
I have to test one of the jars. I have to test the new one, the new glass. So I could probably make it a Do Not Disturb.
Okay. Yeah, I wasn't excited. Oh, yeah, okay. So I'm like, that one I'm about to see. If people...
I can make it a Do Not Disturb, or we could do a new scent.
Nah. Nah, I don't want a new scent. I don't want a new scent. I want Do Not Disturb. I have not burned a big one of that one yet. So that one is my vision for that. Oh, next on the topic for the day, the next topic for the day, we talked about something called Spaciously, and that is when we partner with a company, they're called Spaciously, and they partner with other businesses. So they allow us to do pop-ups in different stores that they have partnerships with. So last minute, I think on Friday, Spaciously had emailed us and said, hey, it was the co-founders, like, hey guys, I know this is really last minute, but do you mind covering an event for us on Sunday? And I'm like, you know me, I'm always gonna say, if we have half enough candles, I'm gonna go. Like, all we need is half enough candles, and I'm going to go to the event and see what we could do, make some moves. So this one was in Manhattan in Soho. Very good location, by the way. It's on Prince and Mulberry. It's called Fairdy. And I set up there. I have some videos on the candle page. I have some pictures. So now here are my thoughts on what I feel about Spaciously and the collab and the idea and the business model that they have, right? I do not think that it's a great way to make a lot of money. Like, it doesn't rival the fairs at all, right? But there's something special about it. I feel like there's a higher conversion rate when you're there, but I also feel like because they have so many regulars that come into the store, that could then build up a regular base for us. So if someone comes in there and buys a candle from them, they go, oh, I'm gonna go buy that candle again. So I don't know why this is. Maybe people don't want to pay as much, which is kind of interesting to me because they pretty much pay the same amount. But a lot of people that live in New York, I feel like, that buy our candles from the fairs prefer to come back to the fair to get it from us. Now, I know it's in part because the experience, we love them, we love interacting with them. But I know that people are like, oh, I'll just come back. I'll come pick it up myself. I don't want to have it shipped to me. I'll just come pick it up. But y'all still are kind of paying a similar amount to come pick it up than you having it shipped to you, right? So I think there's something about going to pick up your candle and then bringing it home. I don't know what the thing is. Maybe it's like the immediate satisfaction, the instant gratification of being able to pick up your candle and then just go home and light it, right? So having situations like Fairdy and Levi and Kohl's, or is it Kiehl's? Kiehl's, place in Muji, places like that. If our candle was there and they already have a regular following who come in there for returns, for exchanges, because they like their clothing or whatever else they sell, if they buy the candle once, they're gonna go, oh, it's my favorite candle. Let me get one of those on my way out. I'm just gonna grab one of those. I mean, got a new scent. Ooh, let me try that new scent. I'm just gonna grab that one on the way out too. So I feel like that, to me, is what I noticed from doing these type of events, is that it's more for building a stronger base, not for sales, right? So now while we were there, they have a candle in the store. And when I spoke with the general manager, she was telling me that they had another candle brand make them that candle. Now, I know I'm biased because we have a candle company, right? But I don't think those candles were that good. I don't think the packaging was that good. I don't think that the smell was that good. The user experience wasn't that good. Those candles had some type of lid on it, right? I was struggling to get the lid off. Like, I had to, if you had nails, you had to pretty much dig your nail underneath the lid, because the lid was not on the top of the candle. It was like inside the candle. And then the wick is smushed. It was frayed. I'm just kind of like, I don't really like this. And honestly, the box said it was a 0 ounce candle. I'm just like, I don't even know what's going on here, right? So after I saw it, I'm like, wait a minute. Our scents, according to me, are way better than the way these candles smell. And I'm like, could we make candles for Fairdy? Because I'm like, we could absolutely make a Fairdy candle, or I would even prefer a Fairdy collab candle as opposed to just a Fairdy candle. Yeah, that would be fire. I think that would be better. I don't like the idea of like, we just white label candles and y'all just have the candle and it's like nobody knows that we made. I don't really like that. I'm not a fan of that. So I would try and do like a brand collab with Fairdy. Say, hey, how about we come up with a scent that you guys like, that everybody here likes, and then we do something with that. So that's what I think about Spaciously. And the people, they were very nice. I enjoyed talking to them. They were very friendly. They bought a lot of candles. Like, that's another thing too about doing Spaciously. I think a lot of sales come from the people that work at the place. Now, that's cool, and I love people that buy the candles, but for a business model, I don't think that's sustainable long term for us to only have the people who work there buy the candles. But again, it comes down to foot traffic. So I also found out that we were there on their slowest day, or one of their slower days. So they're already not going to have a lot of foot traffic, because on their end, they're not really trying to have to manage a new person coming in and selling candles or whatever product they have, while also managing their store. So that's good for them, but it's not great for us. So that kind of makes it a problem. And then for me, I felt uncomfortable selling to people that came in the door, because I feel like I'm taking away from the store. Like, I'm taking away sales from the store. That's the vibe I'm getting, right? So I think I sold like in terms of total candle sold, I probably did, like, excluding the employees, maybe five or six small candles I sold, right? I was there for 4 hours. That's like $75 in 4 hours. But the employees, they were going crazy. Like the general manager, she bought 2 big candles and a small candle. Another person that worked there, she bought a big candle and a small candle. Another person that worked there bought a big candle and a small candle. So I'm just kind of like, honestly, the manager bought 2 small candles and 2 big candles. So it was just a lot. It was a lot of sales going on. But a lot of them, like I said, they were big, but they were from the people that worked there. I don't like when somebody comes to the store and I'm trying to sell them, and then I feel like the other people that work there kind of like, dag, I want to talk to them about selling them clothes. So it's kind of like a conflict in that way. So I feel like there'd have to be a better strategy for doing that. But people enjoyed the candles, people enjoyed the game, people enjoyed the scent, so that was really good. And then funny enough, well, we didn't notice till later, but someone that bought a candle and won the game happens to be like an investor. So if he likes the candle, he might be like, hey man, this candle's amazing. Y'all need funding? Be like, yes, we do. We do need funding. So yesterday, I had watched a video that YouTube recommended me about short form content. And I've been saying this for a very long time, like a very, very long time, right? That short form content is not a long-term scalable goal, right? You can't, it just, in terms of, it's broken at its base, and anything with a broken foundation is long-term not going to work. A lot of the reasons, or some of the reasons why I feel this way about short form content is because, one, of how it's consumed. So it's consumed so quickly, within 5 seconds or 10 seconds, right? But as a creator, myself and other creators who are watching this know that for short form content, it could, depending on what you're doing. If you're doing something like Mr. Beast, it could take hours or days to get a video that lasts 45 seconds. Sometimes it may take at 20-30 minutes to get a video that lasts 7 seconds, right? So the amount of work that's being put in to the video doesn't translate to what reward you get back. So you may put in 2-3 hours to edit this short, and you may only get 1,000 views or 2,000 views, something like that. And the views that you get are not loyal people to whatever you're trying to create. They just saw something and kept scrolling. And I was watching a video and I had a thought. I was watching it. How many shorts have you watched that you remember, that you go, man, this short was amazing. Like, I remembered it. It was so great. The only short I remember like that, which is kind of funny, is a Mr. Beast short. Well, I have a couple. But Mr. Beast, when he had paid someone $100 to go to another country and pick him up a baguette and come back. Obviously, you have the guy who does the, hey, man, what kind of car is that? Will he go up to you on the street? If you have a really nice car, he'll ask you what kind of car is it, what you do for a living. Then there's a guy I seen, that was honestly today. He does magnets, where he goes to like rivers with a magnet, throws it in the water, and tries to find things in whatever body of water he's in. I know there's a guy who is like really tall, and he just does things that tall people do. Like he's like, oh, look how tall I am. I'm gonna do a tall thing. Like those are the kind of things that I see. But I consume way more videos than that. But I can't tell you really, like, honestly, I don't know that tall guy creator's name. Like if I had to find him, I would just put tall black guy YouTube. Right, he might come up. I don't even know his name. I don't know none of his other content. The guy that does the magnets, I would just put magnet and water guy. Right, don't know nothing about him. Mr. Beast, obviously I know, and other guy with the cars. I don't even know his name. I just know what he does. You're that car guy, and that's crazy. Like I wouldn't be watching YouTube channels of people who are creating long form content and be like, yeah, I don't even know who that person is. Like if I enjoy your content, I'm watching it multiple times, I'm gonna want to follow you and figure out what's going on with you. So that's one of the reasons why it's broken. So it only benefits the platforms to create content like that because you now stay on the platform longer, right? But like I said, if the base is broken, you have a very high turnover rate of creators that are making content because they're getting burnt out and they're like, you know what? I don't see a return from what I'm making and I'm putting so much work into this. Then you also have it where YouTube does not even pay, TikTok as well, or even Reels pretty much doesn't pay that much for the content you're making. So it's like, okay, I'm putting all this work in, I'm getting some views, they're not getting any loyal subscribers, and I'm barely getting paid. I think I watched the video, they said if you wanted to get $5,000 a month, you'd have to get like 10 or 50 million views on your shorts. And I'm like, that's a ridiculous amount of views to only get $5,000. We were getting like $2,000 last year when we only had maybe 3,000 subscribers getting 50,000 views a month, right? And we were getting paid almost $2,000. So the disparity is so large that nobody would really want to continue doing that for a long period of time. It's more about get in, get your money, get out. So if that's the idea, the platform's not going to be able to last doing that. In the video, they talked about how Meta is losing $500 million a quarter because of Reels. And I always find it very interesting that things that we don't look at as a product, it's a product for them. So they were comparing the return of investment to Reels, one product, to their other product, which is their main feed on Instagram. And they were saying that the ROI is so much lower for Reels because you can't even properly monetize it as a platform because people don't want to put an ad where they know as soon as you see an ad, you're gonna swipe like immediately. Like, and they don't even have any like unskippable ads on shorts. It's like, no, you can skip as much times as you want. You don't have to watch it. You don't have any stickiness to it. And the ad is so short, you don't even really get to know what the product is about, right? So people not getting paid that much. Platform not getting paid that much. No one benefits from shorts, really. Like, not long term. Short term, absolutely. Which is like, it's funny because you benefit short term from a product that is built on being a short term product. So I just think it just makes a lot of sense that people will stop using the platform. So they made this long video about why, all the different reasons why it's not going to work. Now, I don't really know how they're going to phase it out or what they're going to do with it, but whatever it goes up fast comes down fast. And TikTok is on its way down, in my opinion, because they are trying to get out of the short form content platform. Now their videos are 5 minutes, 6 minutes, 8 minutes, 10 minutes, because they're like, it's not sustainable to be a short form content platform like that. It just doesn't work. There's no way that I can see that working long term, right? So my guess is what they'll probably try to do is move it over somewhere where it's not as visible. That's what I think. I think they'll, instead of making it like straight front and center, they're going to have it like, oh, you want to go watch a reel or a short? It's going to be on this other page all the way in the back on page 79. You could go watch it over there. That's what I think. As opposed to like now, everywhere you just find shorts everywhere. So right in your feed, right on your YouTube when you're scrolling, it's just right there shorts. I think that's what they'll do, just because it doesn't really make a lot of sense for shorts and nobody's getting paid from it. But speaking on platforms that are doing well, I think Twitter will be the next giant media or social media platform. I think it's going to be the biggest one. I think they're doing a lot of things on there that people cannot compete with. And if they want to compete, it'll change their whole business model. One of those things that they're doing is making their source code public. So now you can go in there and see who's getting deplatformed, why they're getting deplatformed, who's getting shadow banned, why they're getting shadow banned, who's getting made to be more popular, who's getting demoted. Now you can see all of that. So now you can actually ask Twitter, hey, this label right here says that if I say the word COVID, I'm going to be deplatformed. I won't be able to have my content reach whoever it's supposed to reach. And now you can actually have that dialogue with people, right? They actually have they're hiring a team that allows you to talk to them about that. Also, what they're doing is they are telling you when your content gets demoted on any algorithm. So now you can see it's like, hey, this tweet has been demoted by 20% because it goes against this policy. If you want to respond or refute it, submit your thing here. We could talk about whatever that reasoning is. Other platforms are not trying to do that. Can you imagine what Facebook's algorithm would look like if we had to see what they're promoting, what they're not promoting? They would never do that. But because people want to have more transparency with what they're using, people will naturally gravitate to Twitter. Also, Twitter, I don't know if it still is or has been over the last couple of years, but when I first got on Twitter, it was like while you were watching the NBA game, you was tweeting. While you had a live event, you was tweeting. Like that was the thing people use Twitter for. Like you were tweeting about where you was at immediately at events, talking about, oh, this is crazy. Are you watching this press conference? And then it kind of took some other turn where it now kind of became kind of just threads of stuff. Like it was no longer really about what's happening, and it's more so just kind of about, well, at least on my Twitter feed right now, it's about how to make money and all these different threads of how to do something better than what you're doing it right now. They're doing all the things that people want that want social media companies to do, and this is why I always say that I think that Mbur CandleCo will be one of the biggest companies, at least in the candle space. I can't speak to the next level of that yet because I don't really know what's up there, but at least for right now, I think we will be one of the bigger companies in the candle space because my main focus is like, what do people want? Give them that. Just give the people what they want. And then if we can't give it to them, try and fix it and work on why we can't. Like, okay, you want a certain kind of scent. Let's go and try to make that kind of scent. Okay, you want a certain kind of vessel. You want sprays. You don't like fire. You want something to go against. You need to buy a lamp. People would have bought the lamp from us if we were selling it, because it's like, hey, I want to burn a candle, but I can't because of the fire in my dorm room or my landlord.
I was literally talking to somebody about the candle lamp recently. Oh, it was in my course, and she was like, "You guys sell that?" I'm like, "Nah." She's like, "All right, I'm gonna wait for you to sell it." Right,
and that's why I'm like, the only reason I even know about this is because people be talking about like things that they need they're like, hey, do you have a roll-on? They ask us, do you have a spray, a room spray, a perfume? They ask, do you have diffusers? And it's like, these are things that people ask us for that we're gonna give them.
So you know what's funny?
What?
So when I showed Ebony the perfumes yesterday, right? When she smelled Do Not Disturb, she was like, you should make this into a soap. I bathe in this.
See?
I'm like,
right.
So I'm like, okay, this is my first time hearing this. Let's see when we start selling the perfumes, how many times we hear that.
Right. And that's why I'm like, we started a foundation, right? we chose some scents. Melissa chose most of them. I might have been like, that one smells okay. I don't know. I didn't really know candle scents back then. I'm like, Melissa, they all smell good. So just go with that. Right.
Oh my God, that was tough. Do you remember that?
Yes.
Oh my gosh, I was pulling my hair out. I'm like, what do you think about this? It smells good. I'm like, okay, what do you think about this one? I don't know. It just smells like something. It smells like something, Melissa. It smells like something.
Right. It smells good. Just use that one. Right. So that was kind of the idea. And with those scents, we attracted the people that like those scents. People that like warm scents, people that like cozy scents, people that like sophisticated layer and opulence in their home. They want that experience. So when they buy the candles, these particular scents give them that experience. They love wood wicks. They love healthy like the people that Melissa made the candle for are buying the candle. Now that we're selling more, we're like, okay, what other what other things do people that buy the candles like, right? Now we're going in that direction. And it's kind of like we have things that we like and we can test them and see if other people like them. And if they don't, they're like, listen, that's not for you. Like, for example, I think that the wick trimmer is useful. I think something that people would have preferred more would have been a lighter. I think that in terms of the scale of what would you call that? They're not appliances. What do you call accessories for candles? I think personally it would probably be lighter first. Honestly, I would probably go snuffer second, and then wick trimmer third. What do you think? What do you think for candle accessories? How would you rank your top 5 candle accessories?
I think the warmer light first.
Mm-hmm. People would buy?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I think that counts as a candle accessory.
Mm-hmm.
Well, actually, lighter first because of the utility of it.
Mm-hmm.
Honestly, they both kind of have the same function, is to heat the candle. But either way, yeah. My top 2 would be the lighter, the candle lamp. Then I would say the I'd probably say the snuffer, wood trimmer, and then maybe like the candle tweezers so you can take stuff out.
That's what I was thinking too. And
But that last one, the candle tweezer, like you would have to really be like either OC like.
Listen, that's me. The other day I was like, I want to use this to get the stuff out of the candle, and I'm just like, we don't have no tweezers for that. So like I would buy a candle kit.
Right, but I think that's only once you have elevated a certain level of a candle.
I don't know. That's okay. Okay.
Experiences. I think you have to experience. Like if I never burned candles,
Mm-hmm.
I don't know why I need a snuffer. The smoke coming from it hasn't annoyed me enough yet because I haven't burned as much candles. Same thing if something's on the inside. If I don't burn candles, I don't know. That's something that I care about because I don't do it as often. So I think it's like that's gonna be for like the more experienced candle person.
So I think that once a person gets one accessory, like if I was gonna buy a wick trimmer, I would buy a kit. So I don't think I think someone that's looking for tweezers for candles is a super experienced person, right? But I think that someone that buys a wick trimmer would go, yeah, I'll just get my little kit. It come with a snuffer and that and this, and I'll just get all of that as a group, as opposed to I gotta go out and find me a candle. Like I don't think that someone comes to the fair would buy a candle snuffer, would see and know what it is. I think they would know what a wick trimmer is, and if I told them about the snuffer, they're like, oh yeah, I'll get that too.
They barely know what a wick trimmer is.
Exactly. That's something like people that know what the wick trimmer is. Those people would go, oh, there's a kit that comes with what's in it? It's a snuffer for the smoke and tweezers for this and a lighter. Oh yeah, I'm gonna get that. I'm gonna take $30. I'll take that. Mm-hmm. So I think that like if you just go to Bed Bath & Beyond and buy candles, you're not thinking about none of those things. You're thinking about a wick trimmer. You're not thinking about a snuffer. You're not thinking about any of those things. Honestly, you're not thinking about really a lighter. You're just thinking about I have one in my house. I'm just gonna use that when I get home, right? But once you go, damn, my candle be having this black shit on it. I don't like that. Now you are in the range of buying everything else to me. So that's how I think about it. That is why I think Twitter will be such a great company, because they are just putting all the effort into giving people what they want. So when you think about building a company, right? Let's say right now I'm building a car company. I could go out there and say, I'm going to build a car that can fly. I'm gonna hire a team. I'm gonna raise funding. I'm gonna do marketing for a car that can fly, and we're gonna have this car fly, right? But then on the other end, someone goes, yeah, man, people actually prefer their car to just go underwater. Like, I just talked to them on the street, so I'm gonna put my energy into that. Like, I would love a car that flies, but like everybody I talk to wants a car that goes underwater. So now I'm gonna do the same things you did. I'm gonna get a team behind me. I'm gonna get funding. I'm gonna get all the things that require marketing dollars, all of that stuff to be able to now make a car that goes underwater. And that person will do better just because they are listening to what people want, right? It's like you're gonna get further faster. You have to still put the same amount of energy into it. Like, you're still building a team and everything else, but you're going in the direction that people want, which is why I think that Facebook is a trash company. Honestly, I think Apple's going down a drain too. Right now, it's Tesla, Twitter. Those are my big companies. I do like Faraday. I like Square a lot. Those are my favorite like brand. I feel like they give people what they want. So I really enjoy interacting with those companies. We don't even know. So next topic is, yesterday I had a phone call with a credit repair person. If y'all are new to the channel, y'all will not know that last year I had a run-in with someone in the same space. In the same space, different person. And I think I touched on this last week when I said that the Honeycomb credit people said they want to give us like $50,000. All we have to do is get our credit score up to a 600, right? So I said, okay, let's figure out how to do that. Now, a lot of people talk to me about credit. Is that true? A lot of people have opinions on how I feel about credit. That's absolutely true. They have conflicting opinion with me on how I view credit, right? How I look at credit is, it's only important when you need it. And honestly, by the time you realize you need it, when you realize you need it, you can probably go and build it for most people, right? There are so many ways to get around the idea of a credit score. Once I learned how frivolous a credit score is, that's when I stopped caring. The reason I call it frivolous is because it's not really about how much work you're putting in. It's about how much information you have, right? So someone may say, I'm going to get a credit card and pay it off every single month. And it's like, sure, you're going to get some points from that. But if you had an authorized user, you may be able to get more points towards your credit score. If you were able to open up a secured credit card, you may be able to get more points towards your credit. If you know about different websites where you could pay off your rent, that they add points to your credit score just for paying off your rent or paying your T-Mobile bill, you can get more points towards your credit score. So when I see these things, it just lessens the value of a credit score to me. So right now, or last year, I stopped paying off my credit cards, right? In like maybe August or something of that sort. From then to now, I don't think that we needed credit. Does Melissa agree with that?
Absolutely not.
Okay. So Melissa disagrees with that. So I don't think that, let me put it like this. We were able to make $30,000 in 3 months with no credit, right? To me, that is very valuable. I think that, which one of the people that would have given us credit would have given us credit without us making money?
No.
None. You said none?
Yeah.
See, that's what I'm saying. That's my whole thing right there. That's crazy.
Say what? Say it one more time.
Like, if we went to them on the first day you made candles, like, okay, I'm making candles today, guys.
And they have no credit and no money? None. Nobody's giving me any.
No, you have credit, but you just made your candle company yesterday. You're like, I made my first candle right here. It has flowers in it.
And I have credit?
Yeah.
They give me money.
Oh, really? Who would have given you money?
I think they want like other things like a business plan or blah blah blah, but like they would still give you money.
Really? Huh, interesting.
Even if it's like a small amount.
Like what? What's a small amount?
Like 1,000.
But I feel like that cancels out because you can get 1,000 with bad credit.
Yes, you can. But like,
can I get $20,000, $50,000?
It depends on how much research and blah 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 stuff you have. Like, if you never sold a candle, but like, let's say you can say, oh, I have this many followers or this many people are interested, or maybe even you would have to show interest in the product or show that like a significant need. I think like things like that will get more money without actually having sales. I feel like, but I do think that's still hard. It's still hard to get funding, like a large amount of funding with no sales.
Okay. Yeah, my philosophy is always people will give you money if you're making money. That's how I look at it. And I think that people are more inclined to give you money if you're making money than if you have a good credit score. I think that someone with a 600 credit score making $500,000 a year will get more funding than someone with a 800 credit score making $100,000 a year. I think that people will go, oh, you make $500,000 a year? How much money you want from me? I'll give you 30, 50, 100K, right? So that's how I always look at it. And I think obviously the best situation is to have both. I don't ever think that you should not have good credit. I think that depending on where you are, credit isn't always the most important thing to focus on. That's how my mindset is. So where we're at right now, we have to build the credit up. And this is why I view credit as very worthless, if that makes sense, because I can hire a person to just go and get my credit score up in a couple of months, right? And it's like I had $30,000 plus in credit card debt, and they charged it off. What he was explaining to me is that once your credit card goes to collections or once it gets charged off, they no longer have it. You're no longer responsible to pay it, right? Now, I'm familiar with this idea. One thing that he explained to me was that when it's a charge off, the bank just writes it off as a loss on their taxes. When it is a collection, they just sell it to somebody else to go and buy it, get it, and get the money back from you. So it's like there's no real responsibility left to pay the credit card companies because they're like, hey, we already said we don't want the money. We're writing it off as a loss. It is what it is. The only person that really wants the money now is a debt collector. And they had no leg in the race from the get-go. Like, they were not involved in this at all. So now I'm talking to the guy, and he's saying that he could probably get my score to 600 in about 6 to 8 months. According to him, he said that it could probably be sooner, but he doesn't like to make that promise just because things come up, things happen, right? So to me, honestly, 600 is 6 months is kind of long. But my score is lower than Melissa's. So he actually was saying that depending on who has less derogatory marks, that would be who is the person that is better to raise their credit. And then he even said to me that he can get us funding at a 550. If you can give me funding at a 550, all we need to do is keep generating more money. We just have to keep growing the company and building it and getting more money in so that we can then have more money going out. Right? That is my ultimate goal. It's like the company has to get bigger and bigger and make more money and gross more revenue. That way.
I don't trust their funding.
Who's funding? Who's funding?
I don't know where they get the funding.
Next topic on tap for today is last week's craft fair, you guys. Saturday was bumping, and Melissa and I feel like we've been doing decent over the last couple of weeks when we're selling at the fair on weekends in Williamsburg. But I felt like for the amount of traffic that was there, our numbers were just slightly off, even though I felt like I was working. I'm like, something just don't seem right. Like, there's people here, I'm selling, I'm getting sales. So I'm like, something, but the number at the end of the day just not hitting. So I'm like, what is going on? So one thing I figured, like, okay, Melissa has to sell 2. I'm like, if I'm gonna make 500 and Melissa makes 3, that's 8. That's a great amount. If I only make 5 for the day, that's bad. That's not enough. And I'm like, if I'm only do 17 orders for the day, Melissa might do 11 or 12 orders for the day. It's like, okay, that's 20. That's almost 30 orders, 30 plus orders, right? 12, 17, that's 12. Yeah, 30 something orders, right? And I'm like, huh. That extra push helps us out a lot, right? So last week Melissa was selling more on Saturday. We also decided to try and change something else up, or not change it up. So Melissa was editing the vlog, right? And in the vlog, she had noticed how we were talking about how much more interaction we have with the table when the 4 full-size candles are lined up next to each other, right? So she's like, yeah, we should do that again. He's like, facts, we should do that again. So we do it on Saturday, and people are reading the signs from across the aisle. They coming up and laughing about the signs. People are buying more full-size candles, and we're just like, this is crazy. Like, we're like, oh my goodness, this is insane. Like, this is the number that we should have been hitting every weekend while doing it here. So I think that now that we know that, that's something we're gonna do every single week. I hope we don't forget it. And then I also think, which we had kind of spoke on before, is this. We need to get a sign to put on the clouds. We were originally supposed to do that, but then money got tight, so we had to kind of reallocate money other places. But I think in the last 2 weeks or so, I have not seen as many people like walk by and be like, oh, can I get a picture of that cloud too? Can I get a picture of the cloud? People like sneaking pictures. I see people in the background with like DSLR cameras taking pictures of the clouds, and they be like, oh, can you smile for the? And I'm just like, yeah, sure. But whenever they post that picture, there's no Mbur CandleCo sign on the clouds. We need to get the sign on the cloud. So that's something else that we realized that we're gonna have to try and do and implement. Hopefully, if we get this funding, we'll be able to do that. And then at the end of the day, we had made like almost $900 on Saturday, and it wasn't even like crazy busy, I feel like. And I also feel like we could have gotten more sales. I forgot what happened. I think we might have been talking a little bit. Oh no, there were 2 hours out of the day that we only did like between $15 and like $45. And I'm like, those 2 hours, if we were like pushing it, we could have easily did an extra another $50, $60 per hour. So I feel like now that we know that, it's like, okay, we figured that out. The following day was really good just because we had the Faraday situation. So I think at Faraday, we made like 300. Was it 300? It's like 300. Like 300? And then we made like 300 at Williamsburg. So for the weekend, we did about $1,500 for the weekend, which is our average is $1,200. Like $600 per day. So we did $300 over that number. So that's always a good thing. And we learned how we can continue to build up on that. So Saturday is going to be our next fair. I'm hoping that nobody asks us to come to a fair this weekend because we don't have the inventory. So that's honestly my next topic is that I think that the universe is telling us that it's time to go to the next level. I can't remember the last time that so many of the products you need to buy for inventory are out of stock. I'm talking about 2 of the fragrance oils and the large vessels are out of stock. So we have no vessels in the house to make candles. Like we have 0 vessels in the house we can use to make candles for in terms of big. So we have to just make small ones. Honestly, I'm about to buy those today. Today is Wednesday, so they should be here by tomorrow. This is pushing us more in the direction of having our own custom fragrances, buying it in larger amounts, buying our vessels in larger amounts. Like we actually have a shipment coming in, I don't know, maybe a month from now. It's supposed to be, I think, 1,000 vessels, right? So now that we have that coming in, we're gonna have to buy the larger ones too from there. So like, okay, once we fully secede, that's the word, secede, you separate? Mm-hmm. Once we fully secede from who we're using now as a supplier, I think that we will be able to like severely cut costs and not have these type of supply chain issues when we're dealing with stuff, because I think we'll be able to buy so much in bulk at one time that it'll last us a very long time. And because we'll have so much, we'll be able to buy a lot of it earlier in the cycle of when we're turning over all the products that we buy. So they didn't have the fragrance oils. They didn't have the alcohol that we need for the perfume. They didn't have the vessels. It's just, it's really bad. I've never seen it this bad before. And I've never seen it this bad. So I don't know what's going on with them, but they need to get it together. And because of this situation, I am now dealing with something called the ISF, which is the International Shipping Fee, maybe? I don't know. It's something I have to do with a port now. So now I'm like dealing with people who run ports. I've never talked to anybody that has to do with a port. They're telling us that our stuff is on a shipping container. So I have to fill out all this documentation to be able to get it out the shipping container. Once it gets here, we actually have to drive to pick it up. I thought it's going to be in New York. It seems like it's going to be in Jersey. So that's going to be unfortunate. Hopefully I can kind of talk to them about that. But it'll be in a vlog of us going out to pick up 1,000 vessels and then bringing it all the way back to our storage unit that we have over here by the house. So next topic is the house. I have finally submitted the insurance form. However, the insurance is set to expire either today or yesterday or something like that. So I'm not really sure how they operate in that space. And I'm hoping that because I filed it before, they still will process it. But they say I have 10 days to pay my insurance. Otherwise, it's going to relapse. So I'm not sure how that process works. It's probably close to like 35, 40K in damages for the whole house in terms of things that were lost, things that were broken into or broken or whatever. So like I said, that money, if we can get that money back, that would be the icing on the cake to the story, just because everybody gets their money back and the only one that loses out money is just us. Like that would be, I'm perfectly fine with that. As long as everybody else gets paid, we take the L on it. We keep moving forward. We have the candle business now. So it is what it is. So I just want everybody to get their money back.
How much is their insurance?
What you mean, like to pay it? They didn't really have it there. I was trying to figure that out. Let me see if I can find it now. Yeah, I couldn't really find a number from them.
For the Bamboo project?
Yes.
1 second here. So you just want to know the amount due?
Yeah.
Okay. Are you wanting to know the monthly amount, or are you wanting to know the yearly premium?
Whichever amount I'd have to pay to keep it. I'm not sure how you guys have it set up.
Yep, we just need you to do the monthly amount in order to keep it for another month. Give me 1 second here. Okay, so it looks like the amount due is $176.40.
Okay. And then do you see a claim on my account?
No, I cannot see claims, man. I'm just a platform manager. So
okay.
I have to get you over to our claims department to get you if you want to talk about a claim.
Okay, I can call back later. I just wanted to know what the price was to pay first. So yeah, that's very manageable. $176 to keep the insurance. Very, very manageable. On to the next segment, which is the League of Villains segment. Woo! Yay! Woo!
Hello. How's everybody doing? Once again, so haven't been journaling as much. I feel like I fell off a cliff with the journaling. Steep cliff. But I feel like it's only been a week. So I'm gonna just get myself back on track. I know I've been saying that I haven't been journaling, but I mean, like, I haven't been hitting my 4 entries target. I've still been doing like maybe once, twice a week. But like I said, I need to get it to hit in that 4 every time. What else is going on? So yeah, a lot of things going on. Okay, one thing about me, I fixate on things. It's a problem that I have. Can't sleep because I'm fixated on things. I will go down all the rabbit holes on the internet, find a million programs, a million things to sign up for, and a million different resources because I'm trying to figure this shit out. So one of the things that I found is this platform called Sky's the Limit, and it's supposed to be kind of like they have a grant that they do. They have a pitch contest that they do, and it puts you in it's like a networking thing. It kind of puts you into connection with other professionals that are in the same kind of space as you, or people that can help you out with your business pretty much. So I got a phone call from someone from Sky's the Limit yesterday. They said that there's a pitch contest tomorrow, and she's like, oh, I'm sorry it's so last minute, but pretty much when she was thinking of someone that she could enter into the contest, pretty much she thought of me. Because our business is already like making sales, she thinks that we have a good chance of winning the contest. And she said even if we don't win the contest, the people who watch it would probably still be interested in either partnering or investing, or even like hearing about the business. So I'm like, it's like maybe 2-3 hours tomorrow. Why not? I'm in a series of trying to say yes to things more, or trying things out, because I never know what'll come from it. So there's that. I have my course today from 6 to 9. I've been enjoying it. I've been enjoying talking to the other people, hearing about other people's businesses and kind of where they're at. We have a presentation that we're going to give on the last day that I have to start working on. And it's cool. It is really cool to like see the same people every week and hear how their businesses are progressing. So there's that. What else? Like Donovan said, oh yeah, cool thing. I would never think that someone loaning to us on Kiva would like go out and buy a candle. That was not anything that was remotely close to my mind. So I'm still kind of shocked about that. We got not just one, but 2 sales from Kiva so far. So I thought that's ridiculously like interesting. Yeah, so like Donovan said, we have a meeting at 12 with the marketing people for Greater Jamaica. So he asked me what I was doing. Right now I'm trying to get the paperwork together. They asked for like our last 12 months sales and our bank account statements and all that stuff. So I'm just getting the paperwork together, and I'm confident that they might give us a decent amount. And this program is also, I think the interest rate is maybe like 3% and on the loan, and there's no credit check involved. They just want to see your sales. So that's cool. I applied to the Grand Central Terminal thing. So I am curious to see what they'll say. I applied to the Grand Central Terminal thing. Now, what is the Grand Central Terminal thing? So as you guys know, we sell candles. Why is that important? So traditionally, the best season for candles is holiday season. You give them as gifts. People like to use them in the wintertime to create that ambiance in their house, that warmth and coziness in their house when it's cold outside. Traditionally, that is the best time. For Mbur CandleCo, things are a little different, you feel me? Because the best time of the year for us is the time of the year that has the most foot traffic. So that also could be wintertime because people are doing the holiday shopping and stuff. Candles specifically are a holiday, like a holiday gift. Holiday markets should be really good for us. We didn't have the opportunity to really take advantage of that last year because we were still figuring out the candles and how to go about it. And funny enough, something that I'm learning is that the best time to apply to holiday markets is generally this time of the year. So April, May, June. We were not active last year, April, May, June, in the candle company. So like I said, we were not able to really take advantage of the holiday markets and how those work. Very popular for the holiday season, gets a ridiculous amount of foot traffic. They have a holiday market. It's really, really cute. Donovan gonna put some pictures up here. Yeah. I hate when he do that in the vlogs. He went, Melissa gonna put some pictures. So now I'm doing, Donovan gonna put some pictures up here of the holiday market. And, it's really cute. It's really cute. The paperwork says that it costs $20,000 to do. I feel like I told you, I've said this on the podcast before. It costs $20,000 in order to do it. They project on average that people make $100,000 from doing this event. That's on average. So some people make more, some people make less. If you make $90,000 instead of $100,000, you made less than average, but that's still a shit ton of money compared to what you put in. So it's something that I'm very curious about. I am. It's 1 month. Do you know how crazy that would be to make $100K in a month?
That would make it for 3 months, almost 3 months of CandleCo. But yeah, that'd be crazy.
That's insane. So I'm like, fuck it. I'm gonna apply, right? And then once you secure the contract, if they say yes,
you bring somebody else.
Once you secure the contract, it's over. Now all I have to do is go to Greater Jamaica, I will go door knocking on all these banks and try to figure it out. Listen, it's a lot. Kickstarter, whatever it is that we have to do, we gonna do it if we can secure getting in, right? If we can't get in, that's a different problem, right? That means that Grand Central Terminal doesn't think that our product fits their market, and it would be more introspective, like, okay, what is the issue? Is it our Instagram? Is it our website? Do they feel like we don't have enough of a following? And that's something that we could work on and kind of communicate, have that conversation with, right? Versus where we're at right now, where it's like, okay, I don't know, like, I don't want to put it off the table for the year, even though nobody in this house have $20,000. Nobody in this house have $20,000.
Well, I didn't tell you this.
Anyways, nobody in this house got $20,000, right? So this is not something that we could really do. You feel me? But it's good to know your limitations and your options. I would rather have money being the limitation versus my product or my company or my brand being my limitation. So I'm very excited to check that out. There's just so much. There's so much upside for the candles, and we just don't have the funding for it. And the craziest thing to me, and something that I will never forget, before we even really sold any candles, that's another thing too. Before we sold any candles, New York Now was about to have us in there.
Oh yeah.
They was about to have us in there just based off of the website, just based off of how the candles looked and like the application that I did. They were going to have us at the Javits Center at the trade show with all these different brands and everything that come in to buy these products. They were going to have us in there 100%. I just couldn't afford it. Like, so that gives me, I don't think people understand how important it is to find programs and apply to things, because it will really give you a greater sense of what your brand is worth, right? So I know what places and spaces that I should be in or should be trying to get into, and that way I won't sell myself short. Where it's like, I know what opportunities I have if I had the funding for it. And I can put all of this together into, like, I could send them the screenshots of the emails, the things that I've applied to, the places that would accept us, and just be like, listen, the only issue with the company is we don't have the funding. And once we get the funding, it's going to make the monies. So that just makes me feel good. And I'm very hungry right now. I don't know what to eat. That is the end of, did I miss anything? Any thoughts?
The final topics for the day, or the last updates for the day, is the shopping bags are, they should have been finished last week. Now I think about it. So I gotta see what the shipping, if they on their way. The wax that we ordered to sample should be here. There's no actual shipping tracking number, but they said that it's supposed to have been shipped out last week. And then, so that's, don't see those shopping bags gonna go crazy. And then we talked about storage units last week. We were deciding whether or not we were going to switch from one to another. It seems like we are staying at this one. The other one is more new or newer, but it does not allow us to add electricity to it. And they also do not have any large ones that we need, because as you know, we are a budding and fastly growing company, and we need the space to accommodate the growth. And that storage unit does not accommodate our speed at which we are growing. So we also at some point, maybe down the line, will add electricity to the unit. And it's like $1,200, and then you have to pay like $15 a month or something like that for it. And that way Melissa can make candles in there, we could prep in there, we can do photo shoots in there, and we can have a nice little place where we just chill out and hang out, so. But that is it for the podcast. We will see you guys next week. My Instagram is Donovan Gray. You can find all the behind the scenes content on our social medias. Mine is Donovan Gray, DONIVANGRAY, and my phenomenal, beautiful, amazing girlfriend, Anita Byrne, ANETABURN. You know what it is. Hashtag Bamboo Project 2023, the road to 500K. And with that being said, Bamboo Project